boring, weird texture, too much work. Yeah, I've heard just about every excuse in the book why vegetables can't be a bigger part of a person's lifestyle. But even if eating the rainbow doesn't come naturally to you, you may be excited to learn there's a whole world of culinary tricks to preparing vegetables and even hiding them in recipes to ensure they become an easy part of your diet routine. So here are the top do's and don'ts to boosting your meals with vegetables in a totally delicious way. Tip number 1, don't make them a side. Listen, if you're not already a vegetable convert, you have to promise me one thing. You're not going to rely on serving vegetables solely as a side dish. Here's the thing, having the vegetables on the side is totally well-intentioned, but it makes eating vegetables feel like the punishment on their plate and not a part of the good stuff. Instead, look for ways that you can incorporate vegetables into your main dish. Making a casserole? Great. Don't serve broccoli on the side. Use it as one of the layers in your baking dish. How about a nice plate of pasta? Wonderful. Incorporate a couple of handfuls of spinach into your marinara sauce. They'll shrink down in the heat and become a surprisingly succulent addition. Invite vegetables into more of your main recipes, and you may just be surprised at how much they can add to your meals. Tip number 2, do make veggie-boosted smoothies. Smoothies have so many benefits. They take minutes to make, they're incredibly delicious, they're highly adaptable to different flavors and your personal nutrition needs, and they have the potential to be one of the most nutrient-dense meals of your day. They're also a really great place to add in a handful of vegetables, in many cases without even tasting them. Great smoothie vegetables include dark leafy greens like kale or spinach. You can also add steamed and cooled sweet vegetables like beets, carrots, or even cauliflower. And many mild frozen vegetables can be added just like frozen fruit. Just make sure that you have other delicious flavors that you've incorporated into your smoothie, like berries, vanilla, chocolate, or citrus, to ensure that the vegetables don't become too overpowering in taste. Tip number 3, do bake them. Some vegetables can be successfully incorporated into delicious baked treats, and they'll add a delectably moist element to your goodies without adding much flavor. Pureed sweet potatoes are a great substitute for oil in recipes like brownies, and you can also add things like shredded zucchini, carrots, and beets to all kinds of muffins and breads. Talk about being sneaky. Tip number 4, do use powders. Speaking of being sneaky, a great way to add in an extra serving of vegetables is through using powdered varieties. You can find all kinds of vegetable powders at the market these days, like kale powder, beet powder, as well as many vegetable blends, all of which are packed with nutrition. These powders can be stirred into just about any kind of uncooked recipe, from frozen desserts to yogurt to savory sauces and dressings, for an instant and often undetectable vegetable upgrade. You won't want all of your daily vegetable servings to come from powdered sources, but these powders can certainly help you up your daily quota overall. Tip number 5, do stack your sandwiches. Making a sandwich, burger, or a wrap, add a few layers of vegetables. Some leafy greens, sprouts, bell peppers, or tomato. Okay, tomato is technically a fruit, but you get the idea. All of these can go a long way to not only giving your body more of the vegetables that it needs, but they can actually make your dish even more delicious by introducing a variety of texture. And if you're bold, you can even use lettuce leaves as a wrap in place of tortillas or bread. It's a swap that's funky, fun, full of vitamins, and it'll even save you a couple hundred calories at the same time. Tip number 6, don't boil vegetables. My mom used to make Brussels sprouts for me as a kid by boiling them in water for about 10 minutes until they were mushy and gray. Spoiler alert, nobody liked them. And as it turns out, almost every vegetable, with a few exceptions like artichokes and corn, is not very well served by this cooking method. Boiling over-softens vegetable texture. It compromises flavor, and worst of all, it reduces the nutrition that you get from the vegetables. unless you're planning on using that cooking water that they're boiling in, which basically becomes a new home for the many micronutrients that are leached out from the vegetables while cooking. Tip number 7, do make more soups. I think we can all agree pretty much everyone loves soup. And that's a really great thing because do you know who also loves soups? Vegetables. You can chop up virtually any variety of vegetable and cook it into a delicious soup that tastes great, feels totally satisfying, and is packed with vegetable action. If you need some healthy soup ideas, you can check out my Luminberry cooking course on immunity-boosting soups, or you can grab my cookbook, Superfood Soups, for 100 amazing recipes. Tip number 8, do upgrade your pasta. You may have seen it, you may have eaten it. Now it's time to make it. I'm talking about vegetable pastas. Using a little machine known as a spiralizer, you can transform vegetables like zucchini, carrots, butternut squash into spaghetti-like strands that can be cooked up and used just like pasta. For picky eaters, my trick is to saute the vegetable strands in olive oil with a little bit of salt for a couple of minutes to tenderize them, and then in some cases, even mix them into regular spaghetti, where they feel like they add to the dish rather than making it too out of the ordinary. Either way, you'll be filling up your nutrient piggy bank with bonus vegetables. Tip number 9, do make your salads epic. True story. I spent my 25th birthday at the Grand Canyon. It was amazing. Later, when we went to a restaurant that night to celebrate, I ordered a salad, and I got a plate of iceberg lettuce, pale tomatoes, and a pile of raw yellow onions. Yeah, if that's what salads always were, I wouldn't eat them either. In reality, salads can be pretty fabulous, despite their poor reputation. Yes, you'll want to put a big bed of tender greens and healthy chopped vegetables like cucumbers and radishes in there. But you should also look to pile in some of your favorite accoutrements too. Things like avocados, chives, almonds, garbanzo beans, olives, or even cooked vegetables like baked yams or organic corn are all fair game. Make your salad a feast of favorite foods and earn major points in your vegetable game. Tip number 10, do roast them. Even vegetable haters have a hard time saying no to roasted vegetables. That's because a little time in the oven can transform even the blandest varieties into flavor-condensed bites of yum, with a little bit of natural caramelization thrown in for good measure. Adding a bit of your favorite spices can be the proverbial icing on the cake, making every bite irresistible. Vegetables like cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, parsnips, sweet potatoes are just a few examples of the many fantastic candidates for some roasting action. Try roasting for yourself and be amazed at how quickly you reach your vegetable quota. No matter what level of vegetables you're currently eating, I hope these 10 tips give you a really great fresh start. If you want all of our wellness tips, check out our free vegetable-centric recipes and more healthy goodness at luminberry.com. Did you love this video? Don't forget to show us a little love too by liking the video and subscribing to our channel.